the last thing I want to talk about, I just wanted to have a little conversation about something. So, thinking about time before like our pandemic and all that, and I remember stores I would go to, like if
This
I
better not be a "Make America Great
no,
Again"
this is
speech.
not.
Remember the old days,
Yeah,
Mike?
no, it wasn't even not even like that. But I just remember like going into the store and I would see some people that already had a mask on. And
Okay.
this is pre-pandemic, all that kind of stuff. And there's always been people who have like health risk or whatever, autoimmune disease, whatever.
Right.
So maybe that's why they're wearing a mask. Okay, but then I started to think too, like, do you realize like how I don't want to say disgusting, but maybe that's the word, because things out there are very, like it could be kind of terrifying when you think about it, because you have people who
You're saying, do I realize how disgusting the world is?
or just other people sometimes. Like I don't listen.
You're talking to a person that just hides in his house all the time. I'm not hiding here.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
yeah.
I'm surrounded by my things.
But here's the thing. So I have been in a public place, like in a store, and in the restroom, I have seen so many times people use the stall and they walk out without washing their hands. Okay. Once again, just not even talk about like pandemic stuff or anything like that. Just basic hygiene. Like I can't even imagine using the stall and not washing your hands afterwards, or doing something else. Like I don't want to get too gross, but I'm just saying, like, if you have an itch or something in a place where you should, like, okay, I should go wash my hands after that. Those things are very prevalent that people don't do that. And then not to mention all the other things that happen, like all the crazy germs out there, all the like diseases that little kids come home with after school, like hand, foot, and mouth.
Yeah.
Just all types of stuff. I can understand why people would like wear gloves or a mask out in public.
And in Asian, several different Asian countries, that's kind of a normal thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sick, or maybe if you just don't want to get sick, you wear a mask. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it wasn't a thing until the pandemic, and then it was a thing.
Yeah.
And to be real honest, when I'm in a store and I see people like coughing and hacking away, whether it's COVID or not,
Yeah.
put an effing mask on.
Yeah.
And to all those whiners that are like, I can't breathe with it on,
Yeah.
then you should be on oxygen or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
really.
drywallers will wear it all day long as they're sanding their drywall. Don't seem to have an issue.
Yeah.
I've done like I have like a wood shop or whatever in the garage. Been working on things, been sanding things.
Yeah.
Put a mask on all day. It's not that. They're made to be breathed through.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you're not gonna make a mask that you can't breathe through, like, and you're gonna suffocate. That's not really a thing.
Do you remember? You're just talking about how disgusting the world is. Do you remember? Did you watch Mythbusters back in the day?
A little bit, a couple episodes.
Okay, so they were debunking or proving the myth about when you flush the toilet, does that send a plume of basically poo all over the place?
Yeah.
Okay, so they first put dry ice in the toilet and flushed it, and you could clearly see a waft of everything that went up.
Yeah.
So then they put toothbrushes all over the place. They put them all over the bathroom. They put them out in the hallway. They even put them in the kitchen. They put them all over the place. Then later on, they tested a bunch of the toothbrushes, both in and outside of the bathroom, and then tested things like the seat of the toilet and things like that for feces. And basically the deal is it's all over everything. In fact, a couple years ago, there was a story that came out and said that they had tested the touch screens at McDonald's, and McDonald's, they all of them tested positive for feces.
Oh, yeah. Yikes.
And here's why I'm telling this right now.
Yeah.
It's because you just said you're in the bathroom, you see people, they use a stall, and then they just leave. To all of those people that are like, especially guys, that are like, oh, I don't wash my hands afterwards because my is clean.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The reason why you can smell a fart is because little particles float through the air.
Yeah.
So if you've been farting all day, your whole underwear area is covered in it.
Yeah.
So your thing is not clean.
Yeah.
It's covered in poop.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then you touch that, and then you probably ate your lunch, so
Right.
you're
Yeah.
a poop eater.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I got to say about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, man, I don't know. I'm not saying that you need to be like scared of everything, but like I understand the people who are overly cautious. Like I would say the one thing that, which maybe it sounds contradictory, but the one thing that I can't stand too is like people who will like use a public restroom and then they like leave the water on because they're like, you'll use the urinal or the stall and then they go wash their hands. But then they're like, okay, I just washed my hands. I dried them using a paper towel or whatever, but I'm not going to touch the faucet because, but
Okay.
like,
I get where you're coming from, and I do think it's a little ridiculous.
yeah,
Although in today's day and age, I would just say they should have the motion sensor ones
yeah,
installed,
yeah,
and they should be motion sensor soap. And I will say, I would rather have paper than the blower.
yeah.
Because
Yeah. Did they do an experiment on that too? 'Cause-
well, there's been articles that have said since there are particles floating around in the bathroom, the blower sucks that in and blows it all over your hands.
yeah,
So you just wash your hands and then you sprayed them with whatever's in there.
yeah,
One, I like the paper for the fact that I know it feels cleaner. But the other thing is I can use it to open the doorknob.
yeah, yeah,
Because I watch all these
Yeah.
people go out
Yeah.
without using the sink, and I'm like,
yeah. I just use my foot on the little kick plate to open the door if I have to.
yeah,
You know?
me too.
Yeah,
But where I'm going with this is, I agree with you. The world is gross, but I think everything is just kind of covered. in
yeah,
it.
yeah. At this point, yes, it is. Yeah. So we got like poop all over the place.
Plus germs and everything
yeah.
else. Yeah.